This is The Devil All the Time from 2020.
Bless.
A film that isn't particularly well remembered, apart from this.
DELUSIONS!
Pattinson's accent choices have constantly been a point of discussion.
Goddamn farts!
It seems for every role he crafts an entire new voice box and speaks like no other human being on earth.
With the tiny cock.
His career can be categorized into 4 distinct periods, each defined by a new approach to his voice work. So today, we're going to rank all 28 voices, the weirdest, the best, the most unique.
Yes, I'd like to get Carlin from there.
And it's all leading up to this, the elusive S+, the best Robert Pattinson voice of all time. But before we get there, let's start at the beginning.
Hear that? That's Thor swinging his hammer.
As far as I can tell, this is the first on-screen performance Pattinson ever did.
Go!
A German TV movie about Norse mythology.
And when I die, I'll be rewarded by sitting at a warrior's table.
But this isn't his voice. He was dubbed over so the entire cast had a consistent accent. I can't really rank it, so I'll give it an NA. Harry Potter was his next role.
This strapping young lad must be Cedric, am I right?
Sir.
His voice here is nothing crazy. It's sort of a posh English private schoolboy.
You know the prefect's bathroom on the 5th floor?
It's not a million miles away from his real accent.
This is a call sheet.
It's solid, gets the job done, works for the character, but it isn't much to write home about.
It's not a bad place for a bar.
So I'd give it a C. And honestly, this is par for the course for his next couple movies. He repeatedly sounds like a well-spoken young English guy.
I've seen the grim things that come and go on the borders of the night.
Like in The Haunted Airman, which has pretty good voiceover work and a more refined, posh accent, so I'll give it a B.
I was pretending to be part of your conversation. I don't know anyone else.
And this is The Bad Mother's Handbook, where he doesn't do anything special,
Flowers.
so it's a C. Bear in mind, this was the very beginning of his career.
I'm still young.
He didn't have much of a reputation and hadn't followed up on his Harry Potter success yet.
Describe who Cedric is.
But he does make a few interesting choices, and we can already see some good work begin to emerge, like this.
Jessica, would you say the way your parents treated you has made you treat me?
Posh, what are you doing? These are the kids' loos.
In How to Be, a 2008 indie movie, he raised the pitch significantly.
Why are you in here then?
It's exasperated, with lots of bumbling,
I decided I don't want to work here anymore.
and a little pathetic.
Well, I'm not totally happy with things. I don't get on with my parents all that well.
I actually really like this voice. He captures a very specific kind of manic, spoiled, upper-middle-class English kid really well.
I think we should go for a walk or something.
I know it's early, but I'm going to give it an A.
One of the greatest songwriters that's ever lived.
On the other hand, we have Little Ashes, where he plays Salvador Dali.
King Salvador.
Reviews were pretty brutal on his voice, but it does come across as cartoonish, almost as if he's doing a joke Spanish accent.
And I had 1 hour to get it right. Just imagine, 1 hour.
And he kind of gives up halfway through.
He was a deviant.
I feel like he wasn't experienced enough as an actor at this point to pull off quite an ambitious voice like this. If it was 20 years later, it could be an S tier, maybe even S+. But it's not, so he's gonna get a D. And this was the same year as his true breakout role, Twilight.
That's Edward Cullen.
And this is where he entered the second stage of his career, the romance era.
I don't have the strength to stay away from you anymore.
Before his audition, a 21-year-old Robert Pattinson was pretty nervous.
I'm freaking out. I don't want to go to the audition anymore.
So he told his agent, and she responded with this.
Find a Valium in my bathroom. I'd never taken a Valium before.
So, in the audition, he was pretty high.
I think I had this sort of quite spacey, detached kind of thing in the audition, which must have kind of worked for the character.
So you're enjoying the rain?
Edward Cullen's voice is quite brooding and very
I
self-serious.
had an adrenaline rush. It's very common.
I get what they're going for, but it lands a little flat for me,
I've killed people before.
so I'm gonna put it in D. In between making Twilight movies, he made 2 other films. The first is Remember Me,
Excuse me? Can I bother you for a sec?
a romantic drama probably best known for its 9/11 ending. He's got a much thicker American accent. It sounds very New York, a bit more working class and rough around the edges.
Oh, can I have a chicken tikka masala and a kingfisher, please?
And I think this is genuinely pretty good.
I think you're amazing.
Unlike some of his previous roles, it feels like this is the character's actual voice rather than an actor putting on an accent.
That doesn't mean anything.
So I'll give it a B. In his next movie, Water for Elephants, he was again the romantic lead.
I didn't want to say anything in front of Mrs. Rosenblum.
But this time he's got a bit more of a southern twang to his voice.
My name is Jacob Jankowski.
So again, it can go in B. But by the start of the 2010s, I think Robert Pattinson had very much come into his own as an actor.
And your choice, movie, actor, drama, is Robert Pattinson, everybody!
He had plenty of leading roles under his belt and was clearly one of the go-to actors for romantic leads.
I'm gonna shut up now so you can all look at Robert Pattinson.
But he was getting a bit too famous than he would like.
5 cars of people outside your house, and they're literally 24 hours a day.
So in 2012, he made a hard pivot, entering what I'm going to call the wilderness years.
You don't know exactly where in Carlin we're going exactly, so.
In this era, he had enough money and fame from Twilight, so he used his security to work with a bunch of auteur directors in smaller movies with weirder characters.
I thought you only wanted to play like just total freaks all the time.
This is where the voices start getting more ambitious.
Not too much to ask for if you ask me.
We're still not in S+ territory, but this is where he begins to build up to it. And the first film of this era was Bellamy, where he plays a lying schemer in 19th century Paris.
70 million and I've shamed myself for a pittance.
In terms of voice work, we can look at this scene. His voice drops down to a lower register, coming more from the throat than the mouth,
I don't want your pennies!
before going higher and louder.
They're not worth the price I paid for them!
He then gets more breathy and airy, his voice breaking,
I don't want your love. I've never loved you.
before switching between the angry snarl
You filthy husband!
and a desperate breaking voice,
Turns my stomach.
all while retaining the posh accent.
I was the one getting fucked! Me!
We can definitely see the DNA of the later Delusions scene in this,
Delusion!
but it's much safer.
You disgust me!
It's intense and loud, and by no means a bad performance, but it hasn't quite got that weird edge we've now come to associate with him.
Blaspheme in the Lord in your mind and in your heart.
So I'd put this in the high end of B. In further efforts to expand his repertoire, he made Cosmopolis with David Cronenberg.
Talent is more erotic when it's wasted.
He plays a billionaire who journeys across Manhattan during an anti-capitalist revolution. It's almost all dialogue, and Pattinson delivers the lines with a cold, flat voice.
Dying's a scandal, but we all do it.
He sounds bored and always at least somewhat removed from what's going on.
The urge to destroy is a creative urge.
And this does fit the character, a guy who's protected and detached from the economic reality facing the thousand-strong mob that surrounds the wall of his luxury limousine.
You have your mother's breasts.
But he never reaches for much beyond this.
Stand up, tits.
It's quite a monotone performance, and I get why he did it, but it does render his character a little boring.
Person rises on a word and falls on a syllable.
So on balance, it's a C. But here's where it starts to get good. In my view, the first certified weird voice he did was The Rover.
Now, the little kid, I grew up on a farm.
This is completely different to anything he's ever done at this point. There's moments where you struggle to understand what he's saying because the voice work is so
How
strong.
come you learn how to shoot so good? Is it in the army?
It's a Southern American accent, but it's got these stammers and stutters.
Because I believe in God, and I know Henry believes in God, and there's no harm Henry won't see me come to.
And it's also a very physical performance. Look at how he moves his head and eyes
All
here.
the mother's empty. Ain't got people in them no more.
I'd say this is the first instance of truly impressive voice work from Robert Pattinson. He sounds completely different to not only how he sounds in real life, but any previous role.
Want me to drive for a while?
I actually considered giving this the S+, but on balance, I don't think it's quite there yet, but it's getting the first S. It's not just a generic Southern accent, but a layered voice working on numerous different levels, and when combined with the physicality of the role, it goes a long way to make us engage with this character.
You got any 38 in there?
Yeah.
Let me get a box of that.
And going forward, this is why whenever he does strong voice work, the character is so memorable.
Can't hope about it.
It's often entertaining enough to just watch him existing on screen.
That's easy. Only 3 of them.
From Good Time to The Lighthouse to Tenet, all of these characters sound and act completely different, but are all a joy to watch on screen because of the way Pattinson brings them to life.
I had a pain in my side real bad.
This is screen presence, and for Robert Pattinson characters,
Starting to hurt.
the voice is a massive part of this.
And he's Gordon, these houses, but he's old.
But for now, we're still in the wilderness years, and it would take a few more movies until we get to the S+ tier. He played Lawrence of Arabia in a Werner Herzog movie, where he sounds like this.
This is true, Gertrude, darling.
He was in another Cronenberg movie where he sounds like this.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a birthmark or something.
In another B-tier voice performance, he played James Dean's photographer.
National Geographic, actually.
And in The Childhood of a Leader, he's got this kind of upper-class, mid-Atlantic accent.
No European would, regardless of what Wilson and the Americans are proposing.
In The Lost City of Zed, he played an Edwardian Amazon explorer with another B-tier voice.
Mr. Fawcett, the jungle is hell, but one kind of likes it.
If we can take anything from the wilderness years, it's that Pattinson's ethos was this.
You look for things that kind of scare you, you look for things that feel incredibly out of reach.
All across these past few years, he's been pushing himself to do something new, actively avoiding playing a romantic lead and experimenting with genres, accents and settings.
Major sell-off of pregnant Russian rats.
And as the 2010s were coming to an end, people started to notice.
It is remarkable.
His films got bigger, his performances got more acclaim, and his voice work went in all kinds of weird and wonderful directions.
I really hate dying.
He entered into his fourth and current era, the peak of his powers. From here onwards, almost every performance has a genuine shot at that S+ spot.
Excuse me, you Peter?
With good time, he brought a completely new energy to the role that we hadn't seen from him before.
You're fucking incredible. You're incredible, do you understand?
His voice has got a kind of abrasive aggressiveness to it. It's a very working class New York accent.
It's all good, we only live a few blocks from here.
Which is the opposite to his posh English roles of the past. Compare this
Look, I realize I never really thanked you properly for tipping me off about those dragons.
to this.
That's just who you are. You're a fuck up. That's it. I don't care. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
It's not exactly a weird or wacky accent, but he reaches for something ambitious and undoubtedly achieves it.
How would you like it if I made you cry, huh? Would you like that?
So it's gotta be an S. We've then got a western called Damsel,
Regular horses don't have names, they're just, regular.
where he has quite a high-pitched, goofy voice.
Penelope's all I got left. Miniature wars. I named it butterscotch. After one of your favorite candies. Kidnapping's the most terrible thing that's ever happened.
Next movie was a sci-fi film called High Life, where he does a lot of voiceover work.
Since we left the solar system, radio silent.
And it's fine, it gets the job done, but compared to what comes later, it isn't much to write home about, so it's a C. And now, we've got The Lighthouse, which is where I first started paying attention to him.
If I had a steak, I would fuck it.
It's a kind of old school New England accent. He perpetually sounds either drunk
You're up and out and swallow it.
or annoyed.
I understood it's against regulations, sir. Did you?
And pay attention to how he says his vowels.
You think you're so goddamn high and mighty as you're a goddamn lighthouse keeper?
Honestly, it's a great role for him. Wacky in a completely new way and adds another unique voice to his repertoire.
Well, you ain't a captain no ship, and you never was.
And maybe because it's one of my favourite films, but I'm giving it an S. And in the same year, he swapped a cartoonish New England accent
I'm a hard worker. I am.
for a cartoonish French accent in The King.
Giant balls with a tiny cock.
I think for this, it's best to just show you it rather than try and analyse it.
Are you scared of this battle? There's no shame of it.
I'll drain your body of its blood and bury it under a tree.
You came here to me.
Your little victory.
Surrender to me.
Little French tree.
This was so close to being S+, because it sounds so ridiculous and over the top in an otherwise quite grounded movie, but it 100% works.
This little village of Ashenkow.
However, there's a very specific reason as to why what I've given S+ is S+, and it's not that. So for The King, it's an S. Now we've got one more film until basically every project he chooses is a banger. This is Waiting for the Barbarians.
You've been treasonously consulting with the enemy.
It's nothing special,
Go and die somewhere.
so a C. And now we're back to Tenet, which in one respect is yet another upper-class English voice.
You want to crash a plane?
But not from the air. No, it's so dramatic.
But he imbues a kind of effortless confidence and charm which stands it apart from previous roles.
Well, how big a plane?
That part is a little dramatic.
And I actually really like this voice.
I've seen too much.
It goes back to what I said about his screen presence. It's engaging enough to just watch and listen to this performance.
Vodka tonic and a Diet Coke.
On the page, the character isn't particularly special, but because of the way Pattinson plays him, he's my favourite character in the movie.
What about the staff?
So I'll give it an A. And now we've caught up with ourselves, because right after Tenet was this.
Delusions.
In a similar way, he absolutely steals the show.
The last
As I said before, the only reason anyone really talks about this film anymore is because of his voice.
white meat and red meat laid out on this table.
It is over the top, it is ridiculous, it is theatrical, it doesn't sound like any other human being.
Blaspheme in the Lord in your mind and in your heart.
And it is an S tier. And I think this is emblematic of this stage of Robert Pattinson's career. He's fully confident going 100% in completely weird and absurd directions.
And them organs.
He's experimented enough to reach for such ambitious voice work and effortlessly pull it off.
Bless me with another opportunity
to follow in his footsteps.
As I said, he's at the peak of his powers, going from a New England lighthouse keeper,
Goddamn farts!
medieval French noble, posh secret agent,
Standard operating procedure.
and Southern Baptist preacher all within 2 years.
Delusions!
If that's not range, I don't know what is. And if that wasn't enough, he can also play one of the most iconic characters of all time, Batman.
The hell are you supposed to be?
The Batman really has two voices. Bruce Wayne, which is a pretty normal, albeit a bit edgy American accent,
I don't care what happens to me.
and Batman,
I'm vengeance.
which pulls off what Christian Bale couldn't. He's got that overly husky masked voice, but it doesn't sound silly, it sounds intimidating.
Who are you?
You know my reputation?
Yeah, I do. Do you?
In my view, he's the best Batman, and a big part of this is because he finally managed to nail the voice.
Think you'll be remembered? You're a pathetic psychopath.
But also, what's interesting here is there's one specific moment where the mask slips.
The mayor, the commissioner, the DA.
He's talking to Catwoman, a friend, so his guard is down. And then she says
Now
this.
Thomas and Bruce Wayne, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that psycho's right to go after these creeps.
It's just gotten personal. It's relating not to Batman, but to Bruce Wayne. So the Batman voice slips, and Bruce Wayne comes out.
What do you mean, Thomas and Bruce Wayne?
What, do you live in a cave?
So I'm gonna give it an S. But then compare that to this.
When you're stuck in a spaceship for that long, food is everything.
In Mickey 17, he's perhaps the wackiest he's ever been.
I should have got snapped in half and died on the way down.
And he plays two characters, Mickey 17
We're very grateful. That's all.
and Mickey 18.
Are you afraid to die?
17 is higher pitched, more sniveling, and a little pathetic,
I mean, you should probably kill yourself if one of us has to die.
whereas 18 is much deeper, a bit brooding and more authoritative.
I gotta kill you.
He's already proved he can do great voice work, so doing two distinct accents in one movie is just flexing his vocal muscles. So it's gonna be another S. And this pretty much takes us up to today. In Die My Love he does this, which alone gets it an A.
Maybe I spend a little less time in my pants, a little more time writing. Maybe I'd write something. Maybe.
In the drama, he plays more of a bumbling role and doesn't sound a million miles away from his actual voice, so it's another B.
Like, everybody knows if you bring a pedo to a wedding, it's just like, it's bad vibes.
And at the time I'm writing this, I haven't seen The Odyssey yet, so all I've got to go off is this.
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
So I'm gonna reserve judgment and give this an NA. So that's it. A run through every single Robert Pattinson voice.
Just talk.
22 years worth of work and 28 distinct sounding characters.
When I come home, I'm the one cleaning everything up.
But now, it's time for the S+ reveal.
Darn it! That's cheating, you know?
His role as the Heron in the English voice cast of The Boy and the Heron is without a doubt his weirdest and most impressive voice. Because it's animated, all other aspects of performance like the face and the body are gone, leaving just the sound of the character to do all the work from the actor's perspective.
Presence is requested.
But this isn't why it's S+.
It sticks out a little bit.
It's S+ because it's the only voice that is completely original. You see, most of Pattinson's best voices are rooted in a recognizable accent or person.
These are rather peculiar.
The Devil All the Time is a Southern American accent.
Some girl.
The Lighthouse is a 19th century New England
Son of a
voice.
bitch bastard, who are
The
you?
King is a medieval French voice. Good Time is a Queen's accent.
I'm on the corner where you dropped me off. You're gonna get back here right now.
They all at least somewhat resemble an actual real-world accent.
No surprise as I was.
But the Heron is different because there's no real-world reference point.
I'd be the one to know.
He has to invent an entirely new vocal identity from scratch rather than imitate an existing accent or archetype.
Why don't you come closer and have a better look?
This is perhaps the most ambitious voice he's ever done, and he completely pulls it off.
Getting dark out there.
Which is why The Boy and the Heron is Robert Pattinson's S+ tier voice. So this is my ranking, and what's interesting is the placement of the voice more or less matches the quality of the film. And I think if we can learn anything from this, is that Robert Pattinson, even with his movie star looks, is really more of a character actor at heart. He likes to experiment, take on new roles, never repeat himself. He always pushes to do something new.